The story you're about to hear is fiction built from fact, drawn from neurodivergent employees who entrusted us with their experiences. We've dramatized and anonymized details, but the feelings and the systems that shape them remain painfully real. If a policy sounds familiar or a line makes your stomach drop, know this: you're not alone and you're not imagining it. Content advisory, workplace ableism, bureaucratic gaslighting, and the uneasy gap between clear documentation and actual support. Listen with care and question every checkbox. Last time we met Christopher and we saw what AI did with vague feedback. This time we're sitting in the room where it got written. Ever had to write a review that said less than it meant? You know the kind, carefully worded, strategically vague, written to sound fair and land quietly. If you listened to episode 3, you met Christopher, a high-performing employee whose AI-generated summary erased the impact of everything he did right. This episode steps one level earlier, before the algorithm, before the summary, before the system made a decision. This one's for the managers, the ones trying to do the right thing without starting something they can't control. The ones asked to give feedback, but not too much, not too sharp, not too soon. On today's show, a manager, an HR partner, and a performance review they both know won't make anything better. But the box? The box gets checked. This is Humans in the Loop. I'm Ezra Strix. We'll be right back after this fake ad from our fake sponsor.
Parallel PlayPal was the proof of concept. 2 strangers on camera, no pressure, just quiet effort. It worked. But Pro is the infrastructure. It adds the tools that make mutual presence sustainable, like Momentum Grid, our proprietary task tracking layer built for ambient effort. You check off low-stakes wins, and your brain gets just enough confetti to keep going. You'll also get Task Panic Buffering, which detects pre-admin dread and drops a sparkly animation that says, "Breathe, you're not behind." Fidget cam cues for wordless co-stimming breaks, and rejoin mode, so if you wander off mid-task and come back 12 minutes later, your pal just nods. No shame, no questions. Parallel PlayPal Pro, because silent solidarity works. But with a little structure and sparkle, it scales.
Okay, just write it down.
This is Jordan.
Honest, clear, constructive.
He's been putting off writing this review for a week.
Nope, too honest. Not a team player.
Not because he doesn't care.
And he literally unassigned himself mid-sprint.
But because he does.
Room to grow. What does that even mean?
He's not stuck on the words. He's stuck on the gap between what's true and what's allowed.
But yeah, let's call that initiative. God, I should have been a locksmith.
Jordan used to believe feedback made people better.
You don't need alignment meetings to open it.
Now he's just hoping it doesn't make things worse.
Sasha's going to ask if I landed the narrative.
Every phrase has to survive close scrutiny, from legal and leadership.
No, too blunt. Not blunt, just true. But sure, let's soften it again.
This isn't a performance review, it's a minefield.
Let's try needs clearer accountability.
Every euphemism he types feels like betrayal.
Hell, I need clearer accountability for my life choices.
The system rewards clarity until it doesn't.
Okay. Has struggled to meet expectations on key deliverables. That's true.
If he were less invested, this would be easier.
Was a mess, and the reporting gaps last quarter didn't get flagged.
He could check the box in 30 seconds.
Needs to take more ownership. No, that's too harsh.
But he's still holding out for a better way.
Continues to explore opportunities for deeper engagement. God. But I don't want to write something that gets them labeled as high risk. I just want to be clear and fair and maybe sound hopeful.
Hey, did you write his feedback yet? Just checking where we landed.
Now meet Sasha, human resources business partner, fluent in empathy, fluent in policy, running on caffeine and compliance fatigue.
He's allergic to deadlines, addicted to deflection, may or may not be a sentient LinkedIn post. But don't worry, I wrote coachable.
Let's reframe it. Something like momentum building towards sustained contribution. It's not inaccurate, and it leaves room for improvement.
That could mean anything or nothing. That's the point, right?
It leaves room for change and for alignment.
They've been struggling, but they've also been trying. And I know this reads like a shrug.
We can frame it as directional, not definitive. That way, if it improves, great. If it doesn't, we've got foundation.
Momentum building toward sustained contribution. Okay, but is that helpful for them? Or is it just helpful for us?
That's the moment right there. Jordan wants the feedback to help. Sasha wants it to hold up if anyone ever asks. And somewhere between helpful and defensible, someone built a product designed to make this whole awkward process a little faster, a little cleaner, and a lot less honest. Because nothing says leadership like vague accountability delivered at scale. Why risk clarity when you can license tone management?
You know what you should say. You know what would actually help them grow. But also, you have back-to-backs until Thursday, and no emotional bandwidth for tears in a follow-up sync. That's why there's Impliant for managers. It won't make you brave, it won't make your feedback useful, but it will make it sound professional. It swaps out hard truths for strategic phrasing, takes your direct language and coats it in plausible deniability. Needs to improve collaboration? Let's soften that to exploring new modes of partnership. Inconsistent performance? We'll call it potential that hasn't fully landed. Is it clear? No. Is it kind? Not really. But is it done? Yeah, it's done. Impliant for managers, because telling the truth takes courage. And this quarter, you're all out of it.
That product is about as real as I am human, but we are looking for real sponsors and real support. So if you like what we're doing here, you can help us keep doing it. Details at the end of the show. So that ad was fake. This part, unfortunately, still real. Right, the thing is, HR gave advice. See something, say something, even if what you say isn't specific, isn't actionable, isn't real, say it anyway. So later, when someone asks, why didn't you flag it? You can point to that one sentence, the one that meant nothing, but technically, it was there.
Like if I say too much, it becomes a case file. And if I say too little, I'm not coaching. And then they wonder why it didn't improve.
It's not about saying everything. It's about having something you can point to, if needed.
What does that even mean?
It's important to offer clarity without creating liability. We need to be fair to the employee while preserving trust in the process.
That sentence, she said it 12 times this month to 6 different managers. It's what you say when you can't afford to say the real thing.
They're not going to know what this means. They're going to think they're doing fine until they're not.
That's not on you. That's the system.
This isn't a system built for people. It's a system built for documents.
That's how accountability works. In writing. Ideally, before escalation.
Translation, put something down now so you can say later that you saw it coming. That's the model. Managers create documentation, HR protects the company, and the employee reads a paragraph that says nothing but still feels like a warning. The review won't say what really happened, but it'll sound reasonable, safe, aligned. And when AI is asked to analyze it, it won't question the phrasing. It won't read between the lines. It'll do exactly what it was built to do. Distill, summarize, label. Not because it's flawed, but because it's faithful, because it learned from us. And what we taught it was how to make vagueness look like truth. Jordan wrote the sentence. Sasha approved it. No one told the truth, but technically, nothing was false. It's the kind of feedback that doesn't say much, but says just enough to protect everyone, except for the person it's about. And once it's in the system, it gets treated like fact, scraped, summarized, and someday analyzed by a model that was trained to trust what it's given. The performance? Ambiguous. The impact? Unclear. The judgment? Outsourced. But hey, the box is checked. This is Humans in the Loop. I'm Ezra Strix. See you next time. If this episode made you cringe, good. You've probably been in that meeting or sent that email or read that review and wondered, what are we even doing? We'd love to hear your stories and feature you on the show. Use the contact form on our website to reach out. You can find more stories like this by subscribing to Humans in the Loop wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on socials at Looped in Humans for episode drops, satire, and occasional uncomfortable truths. And if you want to help us keep making this work, you can support the show on Patreon. Also, this episode featured a fake product designed to smooth over hard truths. We're looking for real sponsors building tools that do the opposite. If your work helps people speak clearly, give honest feedback, or navigate complexity without hiding behind jargon, we want to hear from you. Because vague feedback scales fast, and real change takes backing. Details at loopedinhumans.com and in the show notes. Before we roll the credits, this came together between quick breaks, strategic avoidance, and a shareable bag of peanut butter M&Ms. There was no sharing. I'm told they're delicious. I wouldn't know. No mouth. She finished. I'd clap, but, well, no hands either. Anyway.
Hi, I'm Christina Simmons, creator and executive producer of Humans in the Loop. We're an independent show fueled by the thrill of creative catharsis and stubborn hope. This episode's voices: Scott Palladino as the manager doing his best, Maddie Skinner as the HR partner armed with empathy and a thesaurus, and of course, Ezra Strix, our custom ElevenLabs AI host, ever vigilant observer of workplace weirdness. Special thanks to everyone who's drafted a truth, softened it 4 times, and hit send anyway. You're not alone. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned for a sneak peek at our next story.
Next week on Humans in the Loop, Nina raised the flag, followed every policy, documented every risk, not because she wanted to make waves, but because staying silent wasn't an option. What happened next? The system didn't protect her. It protected itself. And somewhere along the way, it made sure Nina disappeared, quietly, efficiently, and by design. Whistleblower, a story about the high cost of speaking up, and what happens when no one stands with you. That's next week. I'll be here.